Well, hello, my darlings, and welcome to midweek morning cuppa with Wallace. She hasn't got her cuppa. Why? Because she just had her lunch a while ago and she had a cuppa with her lunch. But I should have brought it in here and just had my cuppa here. But you'll be having yours, won't you, darlings? You'll be having yours. Now, today, I've got a scarf on today. It's starting to rain outside. Seen a little bit of spring. We have seen a little bit of spring happening here in Melbourne, Oz. Got my cards in front of me because I want to do a little reading today. Let me check the time so I know where I'm at. Okay. Had some interesting things coming this week. So, where we at? I'm just finishing off a chocolate lolly. What did I have? Picnic. A little picnic. Oh, I want to show you something. I've got it up here. Oh, meant to get it down before I came on air. Now, wait on, give her a little bit of a clean. This is my grandmother. God love her. And this is my sister and I, her nursing, my sister and I, when we were little. Can you see it, darlings? Got to get it out of the light. Can you see it? Can you see? I hope you can see that. There you are. That's a bit better. Bring it out of the light. That's my sister and I, my grandmother nursing us when we were little and when we were bumps. Isn't that beautiful? I found it the other day when I was moving the office around. I had it tucked in around behind something else. And I set it up here. God love it. Look at this. The two of us, aren't we beautiful? I can still pick Judith and I out, which is which. And little boots on. My mother always bought us, I'll put it over here. My mother always bought us really, really good shoes, little boots actually. These little, dear little boots. She used to buy them in different colours, I think. White ones for best and, some brown or black or whatever for every day running around. I forget what they had a name, these little boots, and they weren't cheap. But my father was the one. My father insisted that we have good footwear. He was a stickler for that, and which is why today the knees are stuffed, but the feet are good. It was because we had really good shoes. And when my kids were young, I put good shoes on them. The boy continued on with it, but the girls not so much. And one of them has buys good shoes now and nice shoes, but the other one, she's got the worst feet. And I really put it down to the fact that she didn't put good shoes on her feet, support and all that sort of thing. I don't know. My father was a stickler for that, so we did it. We had it, and so we have good feet, both my sister and I. No bunions or bumps or lumps or good straight, well, narrow, good straight feet. Okay, now a little bit of goss, isn't it? Buy me a coffee if you feel like it, and to support the channel. That's really why we do it. The whole buy me a coffee thing is to support the channel, and subscribe. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Subscribe and like, because that's what really helps with the show. It really helps build it. I woke up during the week, so that's a little bit of, the little bit of promotion. I'm a bit distracted. I woke up, well, first of all, I had a couple of things going on this week. And I like to use Wednesdays to have a bit of a chat about that. I don't like it to be, just about the politics or whatever else. In fact, I often don't want it to be about the politics. I like talking about a book, or I like talking about, something else, or something else that went on, or I came across, or that's been on my mind. I want to I want to present a show during the week that reflects that. It reflects more about what's going on in my life, and hopefully what's going on in yours as well. Whatever's going on in my life is going on in yours. How do I explain that? Insofar as we all have our challenges. We all have those things that we have to relate to. Just pulling my thing around me because it's a bit cool. We all have those things we have to relate to, darlings, don't we? I mean, the trials and tribulations and things in life that come along. A couple of things this week. I woke up one morning early in the week, Monday, I think it was. What's today? Wednesday, Australian time. I woke up on Monday morning out of my sleep. It was yelling at me in my sleep because I often get that sort of stuff going on. And I woke up with this control the narrative, control the narrative, control the narrative. They were yelling at me. And I mean, it was really like it was full on. I couldn't get it. I couldn't get him to stop. It was like, stop, 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 stop. How do I take that and tell people about that and relate to that? What do I say to people? Control the narrative, control the narrative, control the narrative. But I got thinking about it all week, and I thought, well, could I mention that? Could I talk about the control the narrative thing in relation to what's going on around us? In relation to, well, we know, darlings, don't we? We know that in America, and I had a rant on the other video this week, on the big one that comes out on one of my sister and I do. I was ranting to Judith, and then I got on to, it was no better when I got on the video. I was still bloody ranting. Because I'm so affected by it all. I'm so affected by the nonsense and just the stupidity of it. I'm just, it's nonsense. Nonsense it is. So control the narrative, and I thought, well, how does that come back to, and how do we relate that to our own lives? How do we relate that to us and how we live and what we're about? Come on, my little darling. Come on. Hang on. Let me get you up. Oh, God, there you are. Here's my big angel, who's getting fatter and fatter by the moment. And whose fault is that? Mine, because I give her what she wants. I give her everything. Oh, there you go. She's got to go now. Back up. It's coming. I will stay and look after you. She's got a little munchie on the floor here, and she's protecting it. The other one might be distracting her and run down and grab it. She's not going to have that happen. So I woke up. I digress. I do. So I got thinking, when I woke up with this, I got thinking about the narrative, and I got thinking about all the things that are going on in America and all the stuff that's happening, and I was thinking about this whole thing around Maxwell and Ghislaine Maxwell, and her father was a crook. Oh, he disappeared. I don't know whether you know that story. It's interesting. He went out on a boat and then he disappeared. Well, did he? I don't know. Supposedly he disappeared, but he was a crook. If he disappeared, it was because a few people wanted him to disappear. These people. apple didn't fall far from the tree. But the daughter, Elaine Maxwell, she's evil. I mean, she's just simply bloody evil. But what he's doing, and he got together with his lawyer, who's now head of whatever, grotesque or gross department that he's thought up. But anyway, and I'm saying all this around the political bit to demonstrate this whole thing that they were telling me about controlling the narrative. And controlling the narrative is about taking control of what you're listening to, what you're hearing, what you're seeing, what's being said, pardon me, and everything that's going on that it's easy to buy into. It's easy to buy into the whole Ghislaine Maxwell thing, and that she's holding everything up and la la. It's a crock of bullshit, because it's not true. She isn't holding anything up because she doesn't have the power to do that, and neither do her solicitors. And that whole nonsense that's going on is just him controlling the narrative, controlling the nonsense, controlling, and throwing out some baubles and look at these, and everybody rushes over. And the mainstream media, all these people, look at them all, they're all focusing on Maxwell packing up her box and being going to a less, a more minimum security prison. Why is that? Because they've given her some, they've given her something. She's gone there and they've said, well, we can't throw you a pardon right at the moment. Hang in there, because, the president, he's keen on doing that. He's not. And that, he's doing what he does with everybody. He'll throw her under the bus. He's doing this to create a different narrative and to have everybody running and looking over here at this bright, shiny light and these baubles over here, which is a crock of, it's a load of rubbish. It's just a load of rubbish, because that's not what it is. She's a convicted pedophile. She's evil. She set all those poor young women up, all those victims, including the one here in Australia that supposedly, how do we know? I'm just saying this is all for entertainment purposes only. But the thing is that she took her own life after being given millions and millions of dollars. I don't think so. I don't think that this was, no, I don't think so, but that's what I'm being given. I'm going to go with that. But her life certainly was challenging and miserable. And that was all because of him and the other pedophile that supposedly took his life. Oh, isn't it interesting? Isn't it amazing how so many people, all connected to each other, all take their own lives? They're such heroes. Oh, pardon me. Oh, God, I'm going to laugh so much that tears will run down my legs. It's a load of rubbish. It's just a load of rubbish. And we are such brilliant humans. Us human beings, we're so strong, we're so brilliant, we're so amazing, we're so spectacular. And yet, we can be so easily misled and, have our intelligence, taken from us and, and convinced. I was reading a thing this morning, not on my channel, but on somebody else's feed. I was reading a thing that what this person was saying about, how amazing Trump is and all that he's done. And I was like, where are you living? What planet are you living on? Not on this one, because that's not what's happening in this one. However, I do want to press home. I'm going to be, and I want you to do it in your own life too. It doesn't just apply to this crap and all this bullshit and all this rubbish around Trump and all his nonsense. it applies in your own life. So I think what Spirit was giving me during the week is to say, to control your own narrative. And look, I'll give you a little example. I had this happen to me this week, okay? And it's the way in which we have to do it. We have to do it in our own lives. And I want to explain how you do that, or what I did this week to express that, because Spirit was talking to me as much as Spirit is talking to you. My daughter, oldest daughter, has Parkinson's, has had Parkinson's for about 9 years now, about 9 years. And it's been terrible. It's been a terrible time, and difficult, very difficult. And I understand how, there's times when we feel that our life is taken from us, or we're robbed of the life that we feel we would have had, or we would have experienced, or we would like to have had. And so she feels that way, and she's felt that way for years. And I've tried to, help her with that, or help input to that in a positive way, and look at that may well be so, but what can you do about it? What can you do? Different than the whole Trump thing, because you can do something. But, what can you do about it? But anyway, she was taken to hospital in an ambulance at the weekend. I'll keep it together. I promise I will. She was taken to hospital in an ambulance at the weekend because she took a bad turn, and it's always a worry, isn't it? And but anyway, she's been in a terrible state, terrible place, terrible to see her like that. To a mother, and to fathers too, not just mothers, but fathers as well. But to this mother, it's been a challenge, a real challenge, to see her like that, and to see her in such a space this week. But anyway, it's been an up and down week of a lot of tests and a lot of stuff, and to try and work out what was going on. And anyway, she's brighter today. They've given her the all clear on, the brain scans and the heart and a whole bunch. They've given her the all clear on a lot of that sort of stuff. And she's coming around. She's on the mend. They've taken her off oxygen and off the drip, and she's in a better space now, to the point I'm wanting to make. I just wanted to give a bit of background. I could, if I wasn't controlling the narrative, if I wasn't controlling for myself the storytelling, if I wasn't controlling things, how I react and have reacted to the things that have gone on and are being said, and all the things that are happening, I'd be a basket case. Seriously, I'd be a cop case. It would have done my head in, because I started off at the beginning of the week being very angry about it all. But I pulled back on that after this whole thing with controlling the narrative that they kept on about. I then said to myself, okay, that may well be so. That story may or may not be true, because things, you know, doctors say things, this person says this person, things get said. We all know that. And so those things were said. Lots of things were being said. And as I said, I could have been a basket case if I was listening to it, but I decided I wouldn't. I decided that I would project and come up, seeing as I spoke with her. She didn't really have the energy to have a conversation this morning, but I knew she was better. The other daughter had gone in. She's been going in each day, and the other daughter had sent me a text and said she was brighter today, etc., etc., etc. So I took all that and I then said, perhaps if you feel well enough, I said to her this morning, perhaps if you feel strong enough and well enough, perhaps you could get yourself out of bed and take your wheelchair or your walker or whatever it is that they've given you to support yourself, and a mask, because she's got a, you know, a lung infection, and take yourself out of the ward into the lift and down to the lobby. There's a big, beautiful cafeteria area in the lobby, and go in there and sit in there by the window for a few minutes so that you can look at the world, and that it isn't the bed and the ward and everything that's being said and all the stuff that's going on and the stuff that's been hanging off you for days. It isn't all about that. Go and sit downstairs, even if you only have the energy for a few minutes, to sit by the window and see that there's a world out there. There is a world, and that you'll be going back out into that world. And I want you to feel that. I want you to feel that for yourself. Because I couldn't go in today. I'll be going in tomorrow, but I couldn't go in today. But others were going, so that was good. Communicated with, and I speak to her on the phone when she's strong enough to talk to me. Read a fabulous book one time. It was written by Ram Dass, and it was called How Can I Help? And I may have mentioned this book before, but it's a wonderful book, and it was incredibly helpful when somebody is ill or sick or dying or passing or whatever's going on, and we go to visit and we don't know what to say, so we fuss around, straightening up pillows. Can I do this? Straighten the bed, you know, do you want some water, you know? And we're trying to be helpful, but we're fussing when the bottom line is that the person only just wants us to be there. Just be here. Don't be anything other than present. Just be here. Just be there. But we don't know how to handle it and what to do. It was a wonderful book. It's not a very big book, and it's fabulous. It's called How Can I Help? And it was incredibly helpful for me when I read that book, and most enlightening, because exactly what he was talking about in the book was the sorts of things that I would do when I went visiting people or I went places. I couldn't be present because I didn't know what to do. I felt helpless and all those sorts of things. But I don't feel like that anymore at all. So, you know, and that's another way that we control the narrative. And I think this is most important for us. And I'm saying it today because, and perhaps that'll be the title of today's show, you know, controlling the narrative. We have to control it for ourselves in our own lives. And that then in turn helps us and teaches us how to then control that in a broader sense, control that in relation to what other people say and do, and how we receive that and in what way we receive it. And I do believe, darlings, I believe this with all my heart, that it just helps us have a better life. It helps us cope better. It helps us be in life differently and better, and on a much more uplifted and happy level, because everything's a struggle at the moment. I've run over time a little bit, but I just want to do just a quick reading for the next week. What's going to be happening in the next week? I noticed the Donny Two Dolls has been pissed off and going on about the thing in Texas, because he got euchred there and he don't like it, raving on about they're his 5 areas, they're his, me, like a little spoiled boy, isn't he? Like a little spoiled child. Well, he is. And, getting up onto the rooftop of the White House, yelling out, nuke, nuke, nuke. I mean, is he mad? The man should be put away, but will they? But anyway, I'm not going to get into that today. We got into that on our other video. Sending off nuclear submarines or nuclear whatever he sent off. What the hell? Now he's talking about doing up the White House and changing all the White House. What would that look like? With all its fake gold and all the rest of it. Debauched Rome isn't dead as long as Donny Two Dolls is alive. Well, we know how that is, don't we, girls and boys? Okay, a couple of cards there. Good one, baseball. Okay, all right. This is for the next week. Very emotional. It's an emotional week. Okay, we've got Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups. I'm going to pull one more card. Yes, and Temperance. Kamala Harris coming back into the scene. Opportunity here. Look at the opportunity. Look at these wonderful things. It's going to be very emotional. It's going to be a lot of stuff, mind stuff. This is a nice card though, the Ace of Swords. I like it. But see this with the crown? Yeah, this is a Trump thing going on here. Kamala Harris is coming back into the scene. Don't be surprised if you see her, and it's going to be fairly quick because she's going to move quickly. That's what I'm getting. She's going to move quickly. It's emotional. A lot of people are going to be very emotional about it, about seeing her again, about seeing her come back on the scene. Here she is, Queen of Wands. Yes, she's coming back on the scene, not in the capacity of any political candidate or anybody searching for votes. She's coming back into the fray to hold. And I think, what am I getting? What am I seeing? I'm seeing AOC, Jasmine Crockett, Liz Cheney. I'm seeing Liz Cheney. That's interesting. I'm seeing these women coming back into the fray to try and mend the broken system that exists, and to rally women and rally people and those Democrats, Republicans alike, everyone who wants to see the system mended and America put back together. That's what I'm getting. Yep, here he is. And he's involved in it. It's going to be all out against this emotional Donny Two Dolls. That's what I'm getting. I'm going to give you that before I go. But look out for Kamala Harris. She's going to be, I think, doing town hall meetings. She's going to be out there talking to the people, and she's going to be doing it in big get-togethers. If you thought Bernie Sanders and AOC drew the crowds, hold your hat. The robber barons will be running for the hills, and that's what we want to see, don't we? Love you all, care about you, want you to have the most fabulous week ahead, and you will. And think about what I said about controlling the narrative in your own lives, personally and externally. Be discerning. Just think. Use this wonderful, spectacular, brain that we came with. This wonderful spirit gave us such mind, and use that. Don't, before you hear, just stop and think. Is this true? Could this be true? Or maybe not. I go with you when you go. You go with me in my heart when I go. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't care about you. I wouldn't be doing it. It's a pain in the butt. And there's times when I wonder why the hell I am doing it. But I think there's another message in here, and I think that I've learnt enough and I understand enough to be able to impart some empowering messages and some empowering things for you, for your lives. Go well. Have a fabulous week, and I'll see you next week on Morning Cuppa with Wallace. Bye for now.